um, my trusty ski poles, and those are the black diamonds, and they're three-piece. Uh, if I One thing I found out with ski poles, especially using them like in Rockies and stuff, where basically a lot of time you kind of jamming on them, is that's why I buy the black diamond one. They have that system, that clip system. I really found that this one versus the twisted system, it holds better. Those ones are getting old, and they're probably going to have to buy a new pair soon because they're starting to lose their they don't hold as much. But when I first bought those, and when you because there's a little screw over here that you can kind of make it tighter, and those ones were holding much better. The other one, like the twisting one, was always collapsing on me. And as you can see, 3 parts one, so they're nice for that. Is that especially when you go scrambling or something, when you start to get to a part where you um, need to put them in your backpack, they fold better than the 2 parts. So that's why I always buy 3 sections. But for example, if you go skiing, 3 section is not as recommended because they're a little bit less, they're not as strong, because there's obviously more weak points, because you have like a weak points over here and stuff. So so yeah, so it's the 3 parts black diamond. I'm not sure which kind, because they're old, they're about that, but I really like them, really enjoy it. And I found that when I did my big expedition in Argentina, those ones were helping me a lot. I find like your hiking is better, your posturing is better, especially if you have a backpack. It takes off some of your weight, and your posture is better, and so you're holding up your weight better, and you're walking better. So now, since then, now I've been carrying them with all the time. So yeah. Backpack wise, this is an 80 liters Arc'teryx, which I'm probably going to be changing either this season or next season. But awesome bag, it's been with me for years. It's just that, you know, time to change. But awesome backpack. I'll show you more when it's once it's all filled out and everything. It has like a lot of pockets, and everything basically fit in there. The thing I love the most about this backpack is the back is well padded, the sides are well padded. It's tall, because I'm tall. I'm 6'2", and I have a very tall back, and so I have a lot of trouble sometimes, especially with the hips stuff. Because if I don't buy the proper ones, I always end up having the hips too high or too low, and then you have tendency to put more of your weight on your shoulder than on your hip. And it's supposed to be about 80 to 70% on your hip, and just 20 to 30% on your shoulder. So basically, when you put your backpack, what they recommend is always put your hip bands on, tie it, then slowly put pressure on your shoulder so that you feel it back. So basically, you push this all the way up, and then you put your you put your backpack, and then you clip it on your hips, clip the hips, and then slowly pull those tabs up until you feel a little bit of pressure, but not too much. Because the problem, and I used to do that a lot before, is you start carrying, like, so this will be maybe 50-60 pounds, maybe more with the tent. And what happened is that you're starting carrying 50-60 pounds just on your shoulder, so you're using like all your muscle versus using your leg muscles and all your pelvis muscle, which are much stronger than your shoulder muscles. So I was getting a lot of time when I first started backpacking, like those wicked pain in my back. And so it's better to have your pain in your butt, basically, than your pain in your back. So this is my backpack. For clothes, doesn't carry much. Maybe maybe a little bit of everything. So my combination is always wearing 2 pair of socks. I've been doing that for years now. So basically, a big thick socks and a small socks. And the reason I use the combination of two, it decreased blisters. And why does it decrease blisters? Well, blisters, two things create blisters. Your friction from the outside of your so the heat that is applied to your feet, and the moisture of your feet. So those socks, what they do is they pull the moisture out up to my socks. And this socks, because it's thicker, all the friction that goes on it, it protects my feet. So basically my feet stays more drier on the surface because of those socks, and the heat and all the frictions from the boots goes onto that socks. So that combination, like, I never, well, never, but I rarely had any blisters, and every time I had blisters because I didn't use that system. So yeah, this system really worked great, and in the winter as well, it's awesome. It keeps your feet warmer and everything. And in the summer, summer you just use a little bit lighter socks, and in the winter I use a much thicker socks, and it's much for, because now it brings as well heat, and I use wool on the outside too. So t-shirt, I bring this because sometimes nights in the that's the problem with the Rockies, is that it can't be like 25 degrees during the day and -10 at night. Like, the weather can change like so quickly here that you never know what temperature you're gonna get. So bring this rain jacket just in case. As you notice, I don't have rain pants. I don't like those, and there's a reason why. So I carry those, my pants. Those are a little bit water repellent, but even if I'm in the downpour, I will never wear rain gear, because what I found is that walking with those, you sweat as much because you put your clothes, because you're walking with your clothes there. So yeah, you don't have water, but those things they don't breathe as much, and so basically you're losing almost all your water from just like your from your sweat, and so all your layers, like your inside layers, they get pretty wet. So it's kind of almost useless, and the chance of water kind of hitting your legs is kind of not as much. And so basically what I do usually is I carry this, and if I expect a lot of rain, I'll put like an underwear under that, and so the first layer will be warm and a little bit, then it works like a wetsuit, as that layer I'll keep warm with my body. And yeah, so and then when you get to camp, make sure that you have like a pair of clothes that are in like a dry bag or something, that nothing, so like in a bag like this, where nothing will get them wet, and then you change into dry clothes, sorry, when you get to camp. The harder part is that in the morning, do not put your dry clothes in to go hike if it rains again, or even if it doesn't rain. You need to go back into your cold, wet clothes. And I'll try to make maybe a video as where I put my clothes in and everything. I don't think it's gonna rain this weekend, but I'll try to show you a little trick on where you can put your clothes to warm them up a little bit as you use your heat from sleeping. So that's why I don't carry rain gear. I just carry a rain jacket because that's a little bit different because it's your core, and your core you want. And usually those jackets as well has like a lot of you see like this one, the whole zippers on the side there, they can open and stuff like that. So this is pure Gore-Tex, so it's a little bit better for the core, and then you want to keep your core a little bit warmer. But the legs I don't carry water pants. Pair of shorts, so if it gets warm, obviously I